now to Los Angeles, where over the past few days, we have seen protests turn violent across the city. The unrest over a series of federal immigration enforcement actions has led President Trump to deploy an additional 2,000 National Guard troops and 700 Marines to the city.
So the LAPD has expanded its unlawful assembly declaration to new areas as the violence shows no signs of calming down. This comes after rioters have set vehicles on fire, including self-driving cars. They've blocked major freeways. They clashed with law enforcement, looted stores. Let's bring in Alex Villanueva. He is a former LA County sheriff, as well as John Torres is the former acting ICE director and former special agent in charge of Homeland Security investigations. John, I want to start with you. Your thoughts just on the latest developments here coming out of Los Angeles. You've got thousands of National Guard troops there. Also, the Marines are now going to be there as well. But Gavin Newsom here, in fact, just a few minutes ago, he put this out, about an hour ago here on X. He says that Trump is the only one that's behind insurrectionists because of the pardons that he gave the J6ers. But the back and forth, it doesn't seem to be calming down. It's escalating here between the Trump administration and the leaders there in California.
Yeah, it seems to me that the leaders in California are actually trying to continue the politics here. The reality is you have ICE agents on the ground trying to do the job that California is not supporting them with. California and Los Angeles are both sanctuary states and cities. So they're not going to work with ICE and make it easier on the communities. They could transfer custody of many of these people coming out of Los Angeles County Jail right into the custody of ICE, as we've done many years in the past before they became a sanctuary city. So what happens is the agents now have to fan out across the city in teams to make these same arrests. And then when they go make these arrests, the city leaders are villainizing and demonizing the ICE agents, saying that they shouldn't be out there doing this work. These are just poor people here that are trying to make a better life for themselves. But we've seen the names and the backgrounds of the people that have been arrested, and they're not all just people trying to make a better life for themselves. And so by continuing this back and forth, they're prioritizing their own politics as opposed to trying to quell the situation on the ground.
Sure. The video is also really telling, right? It might be ideal for Republicans who want to cut campaign ads because it says this is exactly what our policies are trying to fight against, this violence and unrest. But Sheriff, if I could go to you, it's what we see in the video, but could you walk us through maybe what some of these law enforcement officers are actually experiencing in the moment over these past few days?
Well, what you have is a lot of hurry up and wait, as we've seen in the military forever and law enforcement. And you have deputies on the ground and LAPD officers chomping at the bit to get involved and quell this violence. But you have the political leadership, be it Sheriff Luna or Chief Jim McDonald, who are basically hamstringing their efforts because they're telling them not to get involved. And when ICE agents came under attack, they refused to come to their aid immediately, which prompted then President Trump to intervene with federalizing the National Guard troops. But these moves were unnecessary had the local leadership got their law enforcement involved immediately and did this. But the whole thing about sanctuary policies has created this false illusion among the crowd that are protesting that somehow federal law was no longer applicable because there's a sanctuary policy. Well, federal law still applies if immigration laws apply. Been used in the past by all presidents from both parties, but they're making a big show out of this, but it's all a false narrative.
And John, when it comes to the ICE agents, I mean, they've been given direction here to carry out a job. The Trump administration, the agenda is, and they were voted in on, that they were going to deport some of the illegals that have criminal records that shouldn't be in the country. We saw that. That's why there was roughly over 50 of them that were arrested. But you look at the extensive history of what they're charged with, it's pretty bad. But now ICE agents are going to continue to carry out these raids, as according to the president. He says we're going to carry through with this as well, despite all of this that's going on. Does this not intensify the violence against these ICE agents that now have to go and carry out these duties?
Yeah, sadly,